We are ArtPod here, aren't we? And we're just thinking about what we do in ArtPod and what it's all about. So can anyone tell me what ArtPod is?
It's like an extra art club away from your art lessons where you focus on more like 3D or more intricate pieces of art, and you can finish them at home or you can finish them in the next ArtPod lesson.
Lovely. Does anyone know how you get into ArtPod?
During your art lessons, if the art teacher thinks you're good and you're very passionate about your art, you get this email about ArtPod and you'll be told that you got into ArtPod, which runs every Tuesday night.
Very nice, it doesn't it? We look forward to it coming each week, don't we? We have 1 hour every week, don't we, where we get to be creative and try out different things that are beyond the lessons that you have normally. Josh, can you tell me anything about what is different that you feel you've done that's different in ArtPod compared to normal art lessons?
You do a lot more like projects.
What things have we been doing at the moment then in ArtPod?
We've been looking at lions and colouring them in and putting some collage on them and painting.
Yeah. Do we have a theme about for the last? Talia?
Like mythical creatures.
Yeah.
The Lion,
The Lion, Witch and
The
Wardrobe.
Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. We started off like that, didn't we? We used that as a way to try and explore different artists, different techniques, so you can all explore different ways of making. What are some of the ways we've made in ArtPod with the lions then so far?
We painted, we used oil pastel, we collaged with different like papers,
Yeah.
and we also made marks, like you can see in Mia's over there. She used the fork to create marks in her paint.
What have you got out there, Zach?
So we're making like 3D lions, so we make the head and the body and lots of feet
Yes.
for it.
What was the name we call that when we're making the base, the framework?
Armature.
Very good, very nice. It's really important that we always talk about the vocabulary, so that when if you came to an art scholarship or made a portfolio, you would be really ready to share your ideas and show how much you enjoy this
We're
subject.
going to get mud rock and put mud rock on the thing so it hardens.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And then what will we do?
Paint it.
Yeah, so we're going to show all these different types of skills, aren't we? In sculpting and painting, and that show from creating beforehand, observing as well from the original lines that we were looking at. So Sarah, how has ArtPod helped you prepare for like the 11 plus process?
So ArtPod helped me to create a diverse portfolio as we got introduced to new techniques like printing or more lifelike sketches. It made the application feel less daunting, as by the time I got to it, I already had several wow pieces, like this is my Vincent van Gogh inspired sunflowers.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's so tactile with all the different textures that you've explored and the colours.
I used a comb to make the feathers almost have a 3D effect on the paint. So if you feel it, it sort of had creases and bumps.
It's also excellent that you're accessing an artist as well, because that's a big part of ArtPod, is that we try and look at artists and then try and show how we can develop our own ideas by using their inspiration. And Talia, can you share some of the ideas that you've been looking at as well for your portfolio?
Well, lots of my pieces for my portfolio, we've started off in one lesson in ArtPod, like we were using carbon paper to sketch over images of ourselves, and then at home I took that, photocopied it and made it larger, so then I could add like my own colours and.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Real range of mixed media. I think we do really enjoy working with a whole range of media when we're working in ArtPod. So the good thing about when we work in ArtPod is we really try and give as many ways of working as possible to demonstrate the natural talent, bring out the natural talent that the children have, but also to help them to focus their work to show and build a portfolio that will really allow them to make strong applications in their 11 plus process.
3D lesson on guitars. So I mainly made this part at school, and then at home I cut a tube in half and then made a top where I added lots of like 4 strings, so it looks more realistic.
It's very inventive. You really were creative with the different materials that you had available, and that really reflects that sense of imagination and brings out the natural talents that children have, which we're always trying to tap into and really celebrate. Fantastic. I'm really pleased you've done all so well today, so thank you so much for coming and sharing your ideas.